Alright, so we have the red model player Mustafa versus the blue Isengard player Sauron in the very first game in the best of 3 quarterfinals of the 1v1 invitational tournament for $80. And we are kind of fighting with technical difficulties apparently. If this happens one more time, we actually need to swap the map, I mean. I'm so happy that this game is still alive. Yeah, it is definitely alive, dude, and you have still the chance to participate in tournaments, you know? We are trying to make it a bit more entertaining by actually hosting tournaments and give the players a good reason to keep practicing, to keep playing the game, to keep the activity as high as you potentially can. I mean, it's not a man's job, it's like a community work. So, you know, the most invaluable people are actually the players, of course. Alright, so Mordor versus Isengard, the third attempt. Please work this time, okay? I think it's looking good. At the bottom right, we have the red model player Mustafa versus the blue Isengard player Sauron at the top left side. On the beautiful map Sakura Forest, which is looking like this. As you can see, it's not the biggest map in the universe. It's also not a very small map. You have still the chance to move between 3 different pathways. This one being farthest away from the Mordor castle. And I think what you gotta do as Mordor is to play a bit more defensively early on. Later on, Mordor has the chance to get very strong units on the field. You have the chance to recruit Black Orcs, which are almost as powerful as the Uruks. They are way cheaper though. You have the chance to get Haradrim Lancers. You can recruit a Nazgul, Mouth of Sauron Trolls, Drummer Trolls, Attack Trolls, you know, Black Riders. Like, you have so many options. Mumakils, I think Mumakils got buffed this patch though, so they should be a bit more reliable now. Unfortunately, in the previous versions, we have not gotten the chance to see way too many Mumakils. With too many Mumakils, I mean, like, maybe we have seen one time Mumakil out of 100 games of Mordor, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the Mumakils are bad. I believe the thing here is that Mordor has just too many options, you understand? Like, too many alternatives. And you can do so much different stuff with the Mordor faction. For example, you can open with 3 orc pits and spam orcs all day long. That's a possible option. In the meantime, orc pit opening into the Uruk pit right after. I'm more BFME 1 guy, still remember buying a CD in local store around 2004. Yeah, you mean BFME 1. Personally, I'm also a BFME 1 player myself. I play almost exclusively BFME 1, but I'm trying to cover every single BFME game on my channel. Bad map for Mordor? I mean, there are definitely worse maps for Mordor, I think. The Warg packs, they should be easily able to deal with these orcs, no problemo. And just in case you missed, we are also using the beta version. So basically they are working currently on a new patch, new version of the patch 2.02, which is gonna be called, if I'm not mistaken, the version 9.0. And this one will have like major changes. Like, for example, the changes between 8.4 to 8.5 were not very impactful. Dario with the 5 gifted subs to the channel. Dariola, Petrovino. Thank you very much, my good friend. Appreciate it.
SW33X_ just gifted 5 subs. What a pirate.
Thank you, Dariola. Thank you. Thank you for the 5 gifted. I mean, what I'm trying to say is like the changes were not very impactful between 8.4 to 8.5, but I think these changes are going to be actually game really meta changing changes because they made it so you can get now money way faster. They also nerfed the buffs, which are unfortunately not displayed here because they didn't change the tooltip yet. But I think once the patch is released, you will get the chance to see a full changelog. That's what the beta is for. So people are playing on this beta just to make sure everything is working all right. There is no bugs, there are no problems, no connection issues or out of sync problems. That everything is fine. And then afterwards, if they feel like, okay, it's working perfectly fine, we have no problems, the balance seems all right, they will definitely release it. I think maybe in the following weeks, months, but definitely I'm assuming in the patch in the year 2022. Alright, Isengard is actually chasing a builder. The builder is gonna get away just barely. The slaughterhouse is gonna be found and taken down by the Warg packs. Sauron is actually scouting. You see this aggressive and offensive slaughterhouse placements from Mustafa, very interesting. But Sauron is a macro player. Like Sauron, you know, he's able to see everything. So, like he's Sauron. He has the great eye of Sauron. He watches and sees everything. The counter commitment, he might be able to eventually, he won't be able to destroy this, unfortunately for Mordor. But he was able to damage those buildings, 2 of them. So he might be able to finish them off later on. Haradrim Palace after the 3 Orc Pits. The good thing about Mordor's early game, I think Mordor's early game is actually pretty good. Like, most people would say Mordor is stronger mid to late game, and I agree with that one. But it doesn't mean that Mordor is a weak early game. I don't think so. You have the cheapest units in the game. They cost only 30 command points. It means you can spam so many of them, even when your command points are low. And you can make it so quantity goes over quality. Dario with the 100 BD bomb to the channel as well. Thank you, Dariola.
Plus, plus, plus.
Plus, plus, plus. Thank you very much. Joe, welcome. Yeah, the copyright-free music I've been using also on my YouTube channel all of a sudden got copyrighted now. The owner of the music was actually giving it away at the beginning, so everybody could use. But then he just changed his mind. You know, I had also problems with that. I mean, to be honest, in the last weeks and months, I had like lots of problems with my YouTube channel. I mean, I got my channel banned. My YouTube channel got literally banned out of no reason for like 24 hours. And then I was going nuts on Twitter, I was going like nuts on the YouTube partner support, trying to reach out, and I just wanted to know why, you know, what happened. And then they didn't know what happened. It was like an automated ban. They couldn't tell you the reason why you got banned. They were like, okay, sorry, it's our bad, I guess, you know. But I was happy that I got unbanned again. Okay. Warchan, big clash in the middle between Orcs and Uruks. Plebeian will be denying the, leadership, which is not existing, but look, this is a brave mother and son, you know, they don't care about the massive fight between Orcs and Uruks right next to them. They don't care about them. Very smart move from Sauron, I like that. He's pressuring at the same time as he's keeping the Orcs busy in the middle of the map, denying them from enter this area, which can hurt those eco discernists a lot. You can see they are this level 2, this is all about to hit level 2, but they are very badly damaged, so Isengard has to make sure to protect them. Perfect timing for the Warg Riders for a beautiful trample. And Mordor is kind of falling apart at this point of the game. After the first couple of minutes, we can see Mustafa is only at 375 command points, 425 now, but which is pretty low for this stage of the game, and 650 for Isengard. He has 6 power points in the bank after the Crebain and Warchan. That means he's only 3.5 away from the potential Weapon of Dunland or even Devastation, which can give you even a more money boost. Power points are rising to the sky as the Mordor army is getting literally crushed from the Warg Riders. There is no counter, there are no Easterlings around to protect the Orcs. It means the Warg Riders will have a fantastic and phenomenal time. Mordor is up to 7 power points, he's actually very down. Dariola.
Suck my balls.
Okay, he's building something. Alright. Okay, so we have the red Isengard player Mustafa versus the blue Mordor player Sauron, who was able to win the first game in the best of 3. So if he wins that one, he's going to be the winner. And Dario, yet another gifted sub, this time to Raboto. Thank you very much, Dariola. Appreciate it. Means a lot.
SW33X_ just gifted 1 subs. What a pirate.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you, thank you. Double furnace. And we have double slaughterhouse. Into the Orc pit, into the slaughterhouse number 3. PowerPoint wise, nothing is chosen yet. I mean, earlier, like in the previous versions, we would see actually Mordor picking up the Eye of Sauron, because the goal of Mordor was early game to survive. And another gifted sub from Dariola, this time to Slegator. Thank you very much, Dariola. Thank you, thank you.
SW33X_ just gifted 1 subs. What a pirate.
Thank you. I think he couldn't be able to build a farm where he... I think so too. I think he had like a problem there. I don't know why though, because Sauron was playing before on the spot and everything was, you know, perfectly fine. But Mustafa seems to have like a genuinely spoken like a problem when he's playing top left spot. Okay, 3 furnace, Uruk pit, furnace number 4, more like an economical opening. We have like 3 slaughterhouses. You can see the placement of the, this is very hard to be seen too behind the trees, but you can see the placement is very important. So he's sandwiching the slaughterhouse, right? So the slaughterhouse has protection from the left, from the right, and behind it, we have like this fortress shooting it down. Marmaragol, thank you for 5 months, my dude. 5 months, that's a long time. Thank you very much. Really means a lot.
Marigold just resubscribed for 5 months. Ahoy, have fun.
Thank you, my friends. I hope you also will have fun. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so orcs are leading forward from Sauron. Sauron is gonna use potentially multiple different pathways. And, you know, when it comes to the game knowledge, I think Sauron doesn't know necessarily more about the game than Mustafa does. Mustafa has definitely the same gaming experience like Sauron does in his game. And Dariola with 700 bits. 700. Thank you very much, Dariola. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, my friends. Appreciate it. Means a lot. We have a clan setting coming up now for the Vipeman of Dunland action. And still a great counter to the orcs. So they can definitely win the 1v1 situation and also way cheaper in compared to Uruks. So way more affordable. But I still believe that the strategy from Sauron in the previous game, you know, going for the... Thank you. Dariola is going crazy now. What is going on? Thank you, Dariola, for Lollipop Pikachu. Gifted sub. Yet another one.
SW33X underscore just gifted 1 subs. What a pirate.
Thank you, Dariola. Okay. The Uruks, they are war chanted, but they are just taking way too much damage before they can do anything. Orcs are being kind of... Did you guys know when you let orcs, like when you don't command them, they will turn into the situation in which they're gonna fight against each other because they are bloodthirsty. They want to keep fighting all the time. Mordor is not only being able to defend himself quite nicely, but also at the same time putting counter pressure on Isengard, which is pretty huge. Yet another gifted sub, this time to Kishido 4. Thank you, Dariola.
SW33X underscore just gifted 1 subs. What a pirate.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you, Dariola. For all the bids and for the gifted subs. Okay, so there is a swarm of the Mordor faction. Haradrim Palace coming up next. After 3 orc pits. Pretty much a similar opening and the strategy from Mustafa in the previous game. But definitely way less pressure on Mordor this time. Unlike the last time when, you know, Mustafa was playing Mordor. So Mustafa was getting pressured all the time. The Warg packs and the Warg riders I think were the better strategy. I don't think the Vipemen of Dunland are a bad choice. But I think if you compare the Vipemen of Dunland impact versus the impact of the Warg riders in this matchup, is definitely a one-sided choice, because the Warg riders, they can deal with the spam of orcs way easier and way faster. So yeah, it's true that the Vipemen of Dunland can basically win the 1v1 situation against orcs, but let's be real here, there is not gonna be a 1v1 situation in this game, you know? The Mordor is gonna always outnumber you. So, and I don't think the Vipemen of Dunland can win actually a 1v2 or 1v3 situation, which they will be finding themselves in. It's gonna be most of the time 1v2 or 1v3. Like, I believe against orc spam, against goblin spam, when you play Isengard, the best long-term solution is definitely investment into the cav. Okay, so Uruk pit into the crossbowman. We have a furnace being replaced from before. Orcs literally everywhere. After the first couple of minutes into the game, we can see Mustafa is down to 400 command points, and that's the problem of the Isengard army faction. Isengard is a very solid faction in the mid to late game with the eco. You have like crazy eco boosting abilities from your spellbook, but until this point, you will struggle money-wise. And you cannot, you know, maintain the Uruk pit and this at the same time, as well as eventually investing more money into the buildings and stuff like this. And Anonymous Cheerer, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, my friends. 450 for Mordor, but you can take a look into the minimap, right? So Mordor is, you can see, Sauron is moving through the bottom side, through the middle, through the top side. pretty much simultaneously. Like he's doing all of that together and then protecting himself, putting pressure and kind of forcing Isengard to be in a jail situation. Like Isengard now cannot really leave this area. If he does, he will lose literally everything that he has on the field. And even now he's losing. You can see the Haradrim Lancers now are kind of crushing the backline of the Viper and Extroverse. Tero, Tero, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Map is all blue through that. I mean, it feels like a Black Gate mission for me, you know? Waves and waves of units and units and units all the time. And he's gonna call it. That's it. You can see power level from Sauron is something else. And I'm excited about this because now he's moving on to the semifinals.